Agriculture is not just farming anymore. It is a full business model with very thin margins, high risk, and zero room for guesswork. Today, I am going to break down the top 15 agriculture industry KPIs that every agri-business leader and FP&A professional must master to run an agriculture business and make it scalable and profitable. But before we dive into the KPIs, let us first quickly understand how the entire agriculture ecosystem works end to end. Because each of the KPIs that we will be discussing will map to a specific stage. Agriculture run across these three major pillars. The first one is farming and crop production. This includes soil preparation, seeds, irrigation, fertilizers, pest control, and harvesting. KPIs like yield per hectare, water efficiency, input costs, and pest incidents come from here. The second pillar is the supply chain and logistics, post harvest handling, cold storage, transportation, and inventory management. KPIs like the post harvest loss, cold chain utilization, transportation costs, and inventory turnover originate here. And the third pillar is the processing and agribusiness, milling, packing, grading, refining, dairy processing, oil extraction, and more. KPIs like processing yield, COGP, quality rejection rate, and market price realization are from here. And because the agricultural business depends so much on natural cycles, weather, perishability, and thin margins, KPIs become a powerful early warning system for managing risk and profitability. Now that we understand the agriculture value chain, let us jump into the KPIs. Starting with the single most important metric of farm performance, the crop yield per hectare. The crop yield per hectare is calculated by taking the total output and dividing it by the total land area. It shows how efficiently land is converted into actual output, making it the most fundamental productivity metric in agriculture. For FP&A, higher yields directly reduce the cost per unit and significantly improve the overall farm profitability. Agribusiness KPI number two is the input cost per acre. Now, the input cost per acre is calculated by taking the total input cost and dividing it by the land acres. It tracks how much you are spending on seeds, fertilizer, labor, irrigation, and pesticides for each unit of land. For FP&A, this metric is important for cost control and for judging the return on investment of different farming practices. Next on our list is the agribusiness KPI number three, water usage efficiency. Now, the water usage efficiency is calculated by taking the yield and dividing it by the quantity of the water used. It shows how effectively the water is converted into crop output, not just how much water is consumed. For FP&A, this is critical for sustainability, cost control, and protecting the long term soil and farm viability. KPI number four is the Soil Health Index, which captures the nutrient levels, the pH balance, organic matter, and microbial activity in the soil. For FP&A, this acts as a leading indicator of the future yields and guides smarter fertilizer and input investment decisions. That brings us to our agribusiness KPI number five, which is the pest and disease incidence rate. Now, the incidence rate is calculated by taking the affected area, dividing it by the total area. It shows how much of the crop area is affected by pests or disease. For FP&A, this helps forecast potential yield losses, treatment costs, and overall risk to profitability. Now, these farming KPIs shows how well the crops grow, but the real battle begins after harvest. So next, let us move to the supply chain KPIs. Agribusiness KPI number six is the post harvest loss percentage. Now, the loss percentage is calculated by taking the total quantity lost and dividing it by the total quantity harvested. It measures how much produce is lost during handling, transport, and storage after harvest. For FP&A, even small losses here quietly erode the farmer income and processor's margin. On a quick side note, if you are serious about growing your career in FP&A, then do check out our Certified Global FP&A Professional Program. CGFPA is a 6-month accredited certification in FP&A designed to help you become real business partners. If that sounds something you would be interested in, links are in the description. Also, there are a bunch of free resources that you can download on FP&A, including books and free courses. You will find all the links in the description. The agribusiness KPI number 7 is the cold chain utilization percentage. Now, this utilization percentage is calculated by taking the use capacity and dividing it by the total capacity. It shows how effectively cold storage capacity is being used across the supply chain. For FP&A, higher utilization directly reduces spoilage and extend the producer's life, improving both revenue realization and margins. Next on our list is the agribusiness KPI number 8, which is on time delivery rate. Now, the on time delivery percentage is calculated by taking the number of on time deliveries, dividing it by the total number of deliveries. It tracks how reliably perishable goods reach customers as scheduled. For FP&A, a strong on time performance reduces spoilage, improves customer satisfaction, and safeguards revenue. Agribusiness KPI number 9 is the transportation cost per ton. Now, the cost per ton transportation is calculated by taking the total transportation expenses, dividing it by the total number of tons moved. It shows how much it costs to move the produce from the farm to markets or processing facilities. For FP&A, this is a major profitability lever, especially in bulk and low margin crops where logistics cost can make or break the returns. KPI number 10 is the inventory turnover in number of days, which is calculated by taking the average inventory, dividing it by the cost of goods sold, and multiplying it by the number of days. It shows how quickly the harvested produce is sold or processed. For FP&A, slower turnover increases the storage cost and spoilage risk, directly hurting margins. After looking at the supply chain KPIs, next let us move to the final stage, which is processing and agribusiness, where the raw crops turn into finished food products. Agribusiness KPI number 11 is the processing yield percentage. Now, the processing yield is calculated by taking the usable output and dividing it by the raw input. It shows how much usable product you get from raw material and agricultural inputs. For FP&A, the higher processing yields directly reduce cost per unit and expand margins across the value chain. Next on the list is the agribusiness KPI number 12, which is also known as the cost of goods processed or COGP. The cost of goods processed tracks the cost of converting raw agricultural inputs into finished or semi processed products. For FP&A, this is a core profitability metric for mills, dairy plants, sugar factories, and food processing businesses. That brings us to our agri-business KPI number 13, which is the quality rejection rate. Now, the rejection percentage is calculated by taking the number of rejected units, dividing it by the total output. It measures how much output is rejected due to quality issues during processing or grading. For FP&A, high rejection directly increases waste, reprocessing costs, and long-term brand risk. KPI number 14 is the energy consumption per unit of output. Energy per unit is calculated by taking the total energy used, dividing it by the number of units produced. It shows how much energy is used to produce each unit of output in agri processing. For FP&A, this is a key lever for both cost reduction and long term sustainability. And finally, we come to our agribusiness KPI number 15, which is the market price realization percentage. The realization percentage is calculated by taking the actual price, dividing it by the market price. It shows how close your actual selling price is to the prevailing market benchmarks. For FP&A, this reveals true pricing power and how effective the business is at negotiating and timing its sales. These 15 agribusiness KPIs gives you a complete picture of the entire agriculture value chain from soil to the shelf. FP&A teams combine them to answer questions like: Are our farms productive? Are supply chain losses under control? Are we processing efficiently? Or are we capturing maximum market value? Let us do a quick recap. We started with talking about the farming KPIs like the yield. input cost, water efficiency, soil health, and pest incidence. Then we moved on to the supply chain KPIs like the loss percentage, cold chain utilization, delivery, transport cost, turnover, and finally we talked about the processing KPIs like the yield percentage, the cost of goods produced, the rejection rate, the energy usage, and the price realization. If you track these KPIs consistently, your agriculture business will become more productive, efficient, and far more profitable. If you enjoyed this breakdown of the top 15 agriculture business KPIs, then do like this video and subscribe to our FP&A channel for more such FP&A content. Also, let me know in the comments below which other industry KPIs would you like me to create a video on. Don't forget to check out a bunch of free resources like FP&A books, courses, and cheat sheets. All the links are in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.